Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, as you guys can see, I'm going to be trying out some products from MAKARTT Pro. They did reach out to me and asked if I would like to accept a PR package. I didn't know what was in here, but let's just go ahead and get right into it. I was actually pretty excited because, as you guys know, I've already been wanting to try MAKARTT Pro products, but I've just never made up my mind to actually purchase anything. So jumping right into this package, they did send me this little cute card here. You can pause to read the message if you want to. It was super sweet. And on the back of that card, it do say they have a new gel flex coming soon, which is the name of their a press kits, which comes with like the liquids and the gels, the nail tips and everything. It does say coming soon, but I was on Amazon during like their prime sales a couple days ago, and I did see that they have a lot of those already like out. So I'm pretty sure this little card was kind of like old because it says coming soon, but I did see a lot of those kits already on Amazon, so feel free to check those out if you guys want to. I would like to review a couple of those on my channel and let you guys see how they look. But also in this package, I did get some brush cleaner and 4 different cover acrylic powders. So I'm just gonna go ahead and open these up so we can get to swatching everything and see what everything looks like. And before we get any further into the video, I did just want to clarify that I know a lot of you guys, if not all of you, know like about MAKARTT, which has like the poly gel and the gel polishes. This brand is a totally different brand from MAKARTT. So there's MAKARTT and there's MAKARTT Pro. The MAKARTT Pro is more for like professional artists, and I'm assuming their quality is just a little bit more advanced, but like still easy to work with, if that makes sense. This is a sister brand to MAKARTT, but it is a totally different one. I did want to clarify that before going any further into the video. But now let's go ahead and get into these acrylic powders. So like I said, I did receive 4 cover powders, and this is what the jars look like. Again, I think this is pretty simple to like the actual MAKARTT brand though. I love like the minimalistic look. It's very clean and simple, and it also has like the name underneath it. So let's just go ahead and get into swatching them. I do want to try to make this voiceover as quick as possible because I forgot to charge my computer last night and it's almost at like 40%, so I want to try to get this done. So for the swatches, I'm going to be using my number 10 Kolinsky brush from Kara Sky. I'll have it linked down below. One of my favorite brushes to use. And I'm going to be using my not polished damping dish and my not polished universal monomer because I don't have any for this MAKARTT Pro. They do have some for this brand, but they didn't send it to me, so I did have to just use what I have. So this first color here, I am just giving it a quick stir before I swatch it. I wanted to make sure everything was nice and mixed. And also, if you are interested, that little stir acrylic spoon is from Crafts by 9. It does come in handy a lot whenever I just want to give it a quick stir. Don't feel like putting the top back on the jar and shaking it. So yeah, I'll have that link down below. But this is how the first bead looks, and immediately I love how this acrylic polymerized. I feel like it didn't take a lot of time at all. I feel like it's at like a medium speed. It doesn't polymerize too quick, but it also doesn't take very long, so it's right there in the middle. Very great for beginners to use. And I just love how the bead just becomes super buttery, just nice and smooth. That is honestly so satisfying to me, and I could watch that all day. Like just a compilation of acrylic beads just melting on the brush. It is so satisfying to see. I am curious to know if it's gonna be the same whenever I do end up using their MAKARTT Pro monomer for it. I don't know their formula, how different it is compared to the one I'm using now. So I would like to see like the difference in between the two and how it works when I'm using their brand. But for the most part, I do know this not polished monomer is universal, so it does work well with a lot of acrylics, whether it's professional or just like a cheaper brand from Amazon. But yeah, I do like how these colors look. Like I said, they are cover powders, so these are perfect shades to just do a plain base with. If you want to add nail art, nail stickers, just do classic Frenches. These are all beautiful shades, and I'm so obsessed with them. At the moment, I don't have a discount code for MAKARTT Pro, but maybe sometime in the future I will become a brand ambassador for them, and then you guys will be able to get discounts using my code. but yeah, just stay tuned for that. But of course, if it ever happens, I will be letting you guys know. This here is the last acrylic I'm going to be swatching, and I just love this one. I think this one is more like the typical just like beige tannish nude. I think it's so pretty and just so simple. This will look great on any skin tone, and I just really love these shades. And so yeah, once I finish swatching all of them, this is how they look, and I think all of these shades are just so gorgeous. Now that I swatched them, number 1, number 2, and number 4 kind of looks the same, but if you look close enough, you can see that there's like different hints of like tones underneath it. Like the second one, you can definitely see a lot more of like a pink or peachy shade coming through. And anyone who don't do nails or like, you know anything about this, they would look at them and be like, yeah, that's definitely all the same shade, but we know that it's not. And just looking at that, I can already tell that MAKARTT Pro will have a lot of different choices, a lot of variety, just in case you're one of those picky people who like that certain type of acrylic, or you just want what you want. You know, there's a lot to choose from. I haven't been on the MAKARTT Pro website and really looked through anything, but just from the selection, I can already tell that they will have a lot of options to choose. So getting further into the video, I did just go ahead and pick out my nail sizes. I'm going to be using some XL square tips as always, my favorite shape to use. I also pulled out my MAKARTT flash curing light. It's so pretty. It's shaped like a rose, and the UV light coming from it is pink, so this is definitely one of my favorite lights to use. I'm just putting some base coat inside the nail tip and just flash curing it on. Once I get all of them flash cured, I will be curing them in my bigger light for 30 seconds. I did take it upon myself to just go ahead and cut them down a little bit. I still wanted them to be quite long, so I didn't do much trimming to the nails at all. Next, I'm gonna take a buffer and just buff lightly over my nail tip just to remove that surface shine from my nail. I'm not gonna buff over my natural nail because I do have on a peel off base, and if I buff over it, it's just gonna come off. So I'm just gonna focus this buffing over my nail tip. And then after I repeated that over all of my nails, this is what they look like. I did just take a dust brush and just go ahead and remove all of that dust before we get into application. And for the application, I did decide on using this color here, which is called Elegant Beige. And I'm just gonna do a quick application using this one solid color over all of my nails. Like I said, these are great for just one color application. So pretty for just like a plain set. So that's what I'm gonna do, keeping it very simple because I will get into a lot of nail art once I'm done with the application. But for using this acrylic, that first bead I placed, I did just go ahead and remove it because that bead was entirely way too dry, and I noticed before even patting it down that I wasn't even gonna be able to like work it down the nail, so I just didn't want to have any problems, so I just went ahead and took it off. I did want to say I did have to get used to the ratio for this powder because all of them are different. Sometimes you may need to work with more powder, with less powder, or like more monomer, just depending on like how the quality is or like the formula of the powder. It just takes some getting used to. So definitely that's kind of what this first video is, just basically me getting to know this powder. I will say it wasn't that bad. Like I was able to smooth it out and just kind of like know how much to use here and there. Like as you can see, it's already pretty smooth, but for the most part I am just making sure I'm using the pressure of my brush to really smooth down the acrylics so that once I get to my filing part, it doesn't take long at all. During this application, I think it was kind of hot in my nail space, but it didn't really affect how I was using it because I did have my air on and it was starting to like cool off. However, I would say next time I work with it, I will probably want to use wetter beads, because just for like some of them, you can tell that I was really having to like use a lot of pressure of my brush just to blend it down. And I know that's not the case for these powders because I have watched Sally. If you don't know, she's, I believe, the chief executive for MAKARTT Pro as well as like MAKARTT, and she posts nail tutorials on YouTube for the MAKARTT Pro account. And I've been watching her like just use these powders, and hers just flow so effortlessly, a lot more like they just look a lot wetter. Like she uses a little bit more monomer. So I think the next time I use these, that's probably gonna be what I decide to do, just to make applying these powders a little bit easier. But like I said, I don't think I had really any troubles using these. As you guys can see, it's going pretty good so far. Just make sure that when you are doing acrylic application, you want to brush down the sides just to keep that shape how you want it. And I will always say start with smaller beads if you aren't comfortable with that product yet, or just comfortable with a lot of product at once. Definitely start with less beads or smaller beads so that you don't have too much to work with at once. And that's kind of what I did. I think since I am using the size 10 brush, my beads were a little bit on the smaller side, especially for this nail length. So I did have to go in with about 3 or 4 beads on each nail. And even after that, if I wasn't satisfied with it, I did just go back in, add a couple beads here, a couple beads there, until I was satisfied with the entire nail. I also make sure that I look in all angles, like from the sides, looking down the nail from the tip, almost like looking down the barrel, just to make sure that I like the height and the thickness around the apex area. And that's just what I pretty much do for the entire application. If you did notice, I'm also like taking, before I even lay a bead of acrylic down, I am taking my wet brush and just swiping it over my entire nail. And that's just gonna have like a little bit of acrylic just so that the bead know where it's to like glide and flow. It's just gonna basically apply a little bit better than just applying to like a dry buff surface. So that is a tip if you guys want to go ahead and incorporate that into your application. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did. I really did enjoy using these acrylics. I can't wait to see if they have any like color powders and see how those work. As you guys know, they have a lot more pigment in them, like the color pigment, so those might be a little bit more different to work with. I don't even know if they have them, I'm just thinking. But yeah, I'm really excited to try more products from MAKARTT Pro. Like I was saying, I've been really wanting to try using this brand, so when they reached out to me, I was just so excited. So hopefully in the future I do end up becoming a brand ambassador for them, because since I'm not really working with MAKARTT, like using the poly gel, of course I will use their products here and there if I need them in the video, but I'm not really a brand ambassador for them anymore. So you know, it's just kind of sad to see them go. So it would be nice if I could just pick up using MAKARTT Pro, because for one, I love that it feels familiar, and just things like that. So yeah, I was really happy to use these products, and if you guys are interested, I will leave these products down below. I also received a nail brush cleaner, like for your Kolinsky brushes. So when the powders and stuff are stuck in the brush, once you are done with your application, you can use that to soften the product, get rid of it without messing up your brushes. I haven't used it yet. I might create like a little reel or a YouTube short, like just testing it out and seeing how to use it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if you are wanting to see how that works as well. And I think this is the last nail I'm going to show on camera, so I'll just let this run for a couple more seconds until I'm done with the application on this nail, and then we can get into the rest of the process. I just went ahead and finished up my application, and this is how everything looks. I think it was pretty good. Like I said, it wasn't too bumpy. It's not the smoothest, but it wasn't the bumpiest either. So I will say using these are beginner friendly. Even though I'm not a beginner to acrylic, I am a beginner to this particular brand, so it was easy to just like adapt and just see how, like, figure out what's the best way to use it. So yeah, that's pretty much my application. Now I'm gonna get into the filing part, and I'll just let you guys watch a couple seconds or like a minute and 30 seconds of the filing just to include it in the process. After all of my filing, I did go ahead and buff, of course, off camera as well. I went ahead and finished off using my hand file just to crispen up the sides a little bit before getting into the nail art. And this is what it looks like. I think I did a really good job with the filing part. It looks really nice and smooth. Now let's go ahead and get into the nail art. So I do have a lot of gel polishes I'm going to be putting on my nail palette. If you guys saw by the thumbnail and title, I am going to be doing some Chucky and Tiffany nails. This is a recreation set. I didn't come up with this on my own. I seen two nail designs. It was like a nail set where she had like Tiffany themed on one hand, and then she had like the Chucky on one hand, but I just didn't want to like try to do two videos, like two sets, so I just end up putting both of those like together as one. So that's my inspo behind this set. For the gel polishes I'm putting on my nail palette, I am just taking a lot of different like greens. Well, not a lot of different greens, but I did do a lot of like spots of greens, and I'm just going to be adding a couple colors to them and make them like a different shades of green, because that's what I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to need for this first design I'm getting into. So basically I just did that until I was satisfied with all of my colors right there on my nail palette. And I'm going to be taking my Kara Sky liner brush. This is one of my favorite brushes to use. It's definitely a must-have. If you don't have it, I'll link it down below for you to check it out. But I'm just taking these colors, these different shades of greens, yellows, blue, even that red, and I'm just going to create some horizontal lines just at the top portion of my nail. I am going to do a couple lines here and there. I thought I was going to be able to like get them on without curing, but after like the first two colors that touched, I was like, maybe it'll just be best if I just flash cure them. So after a couple lines here and there, I will be using my not polished flash curing light to just cure them really quick, and then just add more colors just so that they don't bleed into each other and it looks a little bit more neat. So I'm just gonna keep adding these colors on until I'm satisfied, and I just love how everything came together. It was just so nice, and I cannot wait for you guys to see how the ending set looks. It looks so good. But yeah, I'm not gonna ramble too much. Like I said, my computer is almost dead, so let me go ahead and get this out the way, and let me just be done with it. That did take a little while. I did have to go a little bit lower than I thought I was going to because there's going to be like some exposed part on the side. So I did want the stripes to go just a little bit lower. So I went ahead and did that off camera. And now I'm taking this blue color here I have on my palette. And I'm going to start by drawing the overalls to Chucky's outfit. And I think this is what definitely made this come together. So it's kind of like a box that goes outwards. And just connect those to the sides. Once I get that top part done, I am going to take the brush from the bottle and just fill in the rest of that space just to get it done a lot faster. And I didn't really realize I did go in with the wrong colors for his overalls. I wanted that darker blue, which I do have out in like the set of gel polishes I got, but since this light blue was on my palette, that's just the one I went for, and I didn't realize until I had all of it cured. So once I finish drawing like the straps and stuff, I'm gonna cure it, but when I come back and like show you the next part, it's gonna look a little bit darker because I did go over it with that darker blue that I wanted, just to have it look a little bit more like a jean type of look. You know, I just wanted it to look a little bit darker, so you will see that. If you notice it, that's why, or that's what happened. But for the most part, doing like the overalls was really easy to do, and as you can see, it's already coming together. Like, it looks so good already. So now I'm gonna take the black, just barely getting any on my brush, and I'm gonna be outlining the straps and the outfit. And also I'm gonna be doing like a little square just to create like that little pocket or the pouch like right in the front of his overalls. And also I'm gonna do a little bit of detailing, like a stitch pattern, which is gonna be just like little small dotted lines just to give it a little bit more detail. And don't worry, I don't plan to talk through all of the nail art. I just want to give like a little take of what I'm doing, and then I'll just let you guys watch the rest of it. But before I go, I did just want to really quickly say that if you have been enjoying today's video so far, make sure to go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, or leave a comment down below. Anytime you interact with my channel, whether it's just leaving a heart, liking, subscribing, you definitely help my channel out a lot. So I would really appreciate it. If you haven't liked it already, please go ahead and do so. Or if you haven't subscribed yet, I do know a lot of my watchers are not subscribed. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already and join the channel. Like I said, it does help me out a lot, and I just want to thank each and every one of you. Also, I almost forgot, but just talking about this, I forgot to mention it in my last video that I reached 90,000 subscribers. Someone actually made a comment under my last video and congratulated me, and literally I noticed time I uploaded that video, so I was like, dang, I didn't even get to like, you know, express my gratitude for you guys. But thank you so much for all the likes, all the support on my channel. It just feels so surreal to be at 90,000 subscribers. Like, that is 10 away from 100. Like, that is just so crazy. So thank you all so much for continuing to come back to watch my channel, even though sometimes I may not be that active or whatever. But I just want to say thank you so much for all the likes, comments, the support. It just really means a lot to me. And yeah, you can most definitely count on me to say that I'm not going to talk through the entire nail art and then proceeds to talk through the entire nail art. So sorry for that, but I just had to get that out. I did just finish off the Chucky outfit with 2 little dots for the buttons right where you clamp on the straps. And I did go ahead and give that a cure. Moving on to the next nail, I'm gonna go in with a black gel polish and do 1 coat over my entire pinky nail, and then I'm gonna give this a cure. For the nail art I'm gonna do on my pinky nail, this was actually a part of the Tiffany set. So if you guys remember a couple minutes ago, I said that this is a recreation where she had like a set with Chucky on one hand and Tiffany on the other. But I just wanted to bring both of those together. So one of these is gonna like be more for Tiffany, And this is gonna be the dripping blood hearts, which I thought was so good, because not only that, I feel like it also works with like their relationship, because like they're in a relationship but like they unalive people. So with like the bleeding hearts, I just kind of felt like it was just like a symbol, not necessarily a symbol, or like it just visualize, like it's a good visual towards their relationship. I don't know how to explain it, but I really end up liking the dripping blood hearts, and I really end up loving how it looked. So I did go ahead and use a dotting tool with some red gel polish, create my heart, and it's also sitting like sideways, which is gonna give like the blood some gravity to kind of like fall, if that makes sense. I just really end up loving this design. So yeah, I did end up doing that on my pinky. I also made another little heart at the top, making it drip as well. And once I get that done, I'm gonna give that a cure and move on to the next nail. For the next nail, I'm gonna take this this really light beige color, and this is gonna be like the skin, because just like the Chucky outfit, I'm gonna do the same thing for Tiffany. So of course I'm gonna be doing like from the neck down, so it's like their outfits. And at first I was like, the base color that I use for my application would kind of work, but I also wanted it to look more of like a palish white, because of course they are dolls, so it's not going to look exactly like a skin tone. I just wanted it to have a little bit more whiteness to it, so I did go in with 2 coats of that just at the top of my nail, where like her quote-unquote skin will be exposed. And I did cure for 30 seconds in between each layer. Once I get that done, I'm gonna go in with some white and do sort of like a high V French. This is gonna be like her dress. So again, I'm not gonna talk through the entire thing. I just wanted to give you guys just a little hint of what I'm doing. So since I end up talking through the Chucky one, I'm just gonna let you guys watch this one play out. Okay, so I couldn't help it. I had to come back and just say something. So now that I got pretty much her outfit done, I'm going to be taking this silver gel paint from Kira Sky. Using the dotting tool, I'm just going to be putting like 2 dots. And this is going to be the button on her leather jacket. And then also I'm going to take that same nail art brush, taking that gel paint, and do like some little dotted lines along the jacket. And this is going to be like the zipper for it. And I just love how well this ended up turning out. Like, it came together pretty well. It did take me a few tries to get like the leather jacket right. I did end up recording it, but since I did end up removing it, I didn't put it in the video. It was kind of like a trial and error type of thing, but I did end up making it like too wide. It was too close together, so I did end up removing the entire thing and just trying it again until I got it right. So in the end, I really love how everything came together. And then of course, once I finished, I did go ahead and cure. And now moving on to the next nail, still using that silver gel paint, I'm gonna create a knife on this nail, and this is gonna be the nail that kind of symbols more of Chucky, because you know he's like the main character. So yeah, I'm gonna do a knife on this one. And at first I felt like the knife was a little bit too skinny, so I did end up making just like the top part a little bit more wider. But for the most part, this knife was pretty simple, so I'm just gonna do the blade using this silver, and then I'm gonna go into a black to create the handle. And this knife will end up having some blood drips on it as well, because hello, what is a knife without blood with Chucky? So yeah, I'm gonna end up creating some blood drips on it, which I will just let you guys go ahead and watch. Once I was done with the blood drips, I felt like some of this nail was a little bit too plain. I can't remember if it was on the original design or not, but I did end up taking a stiff manicure brush after I had like the blood drips and everything cured. I did take my stiff manicure brush and dip it into that red gel polish on my nail palette, and then I just did like some little splotches at the top just to kind of fill in a little bit more space, because I felt like it was a little bit too empty, and it also ties into like blood splatter, so I did like that effect. I didn't really think too much about it, so I did go ahead and cure. Even if it wasn't like as neat as I wanted it to, that's kind of the point of the blood splatter. So I did go ahead and cure that. And then for my last nail, I'm taking that really pastel yellow that I mixed using some yellow and white, and I'm doing 2 coats of it on my thumbnail. And I tried everything, like I tried my best to do it how I originally wanted, and that's kind of like how it was on the original design, but there was just no space. I couldn't get it to fit like slanted on the nail, so I just end up going with a safer route so that I know I was gonna have enough room. And I just end up writing good guys, going like, depending on how you look at it, I'm just going like straight across the nail just to make sure I had enough room for it. And yeah, I just went ahead and cured that. And now I'm gonna go in with my velvet top coat from 𝚙𝚘𝚍𝚞, which I also remembered from my last video. I did have to wipe the nails down before using this velvet top coat, because if not, it will make the nails smudge or the nail art. So I did make sure I wiped everything down, and I'm going in with this velvet top coat from 𝚙𝚘𝚍𝚞, and I'm gonna give that a cure in the light for 30 seconds. After I do apply the top coat, before curing it, I make sure to wipe down the sides just to make sure that none of it is kind of like overhanging. If it does cure like that, it will mess up the shape, so always be sure to wipe down the sides before curing. And now that I got the matte top coat cured, I am going to take some glossy top coat. I put a little bit on my nail palette, and going back in with a smaller brush, I'm just going to do a little bit of top coating like on top of the knife and just a few areas where I wanted it to look glossy. So that's going to be the blade of the knife and all of my blood drips. So I will do that for my middle nail, and also the blood drips and hearts on my pinky nail. And then I'm going to give that a cure, and we are done with today's set. So of course, once I did go ahead and get everything nice and cured, I made sure to apply some cuticle oils to my cuticles, and this is, I believe, from that 27, I forgot what number it was, but it was like a lot of items that came in that kit from Beetles, and I really like this cuticle oil. It's really nice and nourishing. I did apply that to all of my nails, rub that in to re-nourish everything, and once I finish, this is how the finished set looks. I'm so obsessed with this. I love everything about it. I really think my nail art has gotten so much better. Like, even though I'm just getting back into the nail art, I just really love the way this look. And each and every time I do nails like this, I just feel so proud of myself and feel like I can just do even more, even like get it to look a little bit neater. So yeah, I just love everything about this. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like their outfits, like my index and my ring finger, it just makes this set come together, and you can just really see what it is just from those two nails. And I really love the concept of like the hearts on the pinky. I just love the heart drips, so cute. And also I did really enjoy using these products from MAKARTT Pro, so thank you MAKARTT if you are watching this. I will leave all of the products I use down below if you guys want to check them out. Like I said, I don't have a discount code for MAKARTT Pro, but all of the other brands and stuff I use, I do have a discount code for, so all of those will be linked down below in my discount section. In closing out today's video, I did get a low battery percentage. It's currently on 10%, so I finished just in time. So yeah, let me know how you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you like the nails or not. And yeah, let me know just what you think about the set in general, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.